We always joke about him and the things he does about hunting and being the country boy that he is.
This country boy fits right in at Mississippi State and right in with some of the best offensive linemen in the country. Ben Beckwith did not receive any recruiting stars out of high school, and he had to do it the Burrows way.
He's a strong leader, and you can tell because him coming here as a walk-on and not having a scholarship, and now he's one of the best linemen that we have.
The 6'3", 300-pounder prides himself on protecting and blocking for Heisman Trophy candidate Dak Prescott, who has close to 3,000 combined yards this season. Beckwith is the glue that holds this Bulldogs offensive line together.
Even though I'm on the other side of the line, he sit there like, hey, you got to do this. This type of guy's doing this. He's going to do this. He's just going to tell you everything you need to know to help you do your job.
Beckwith and that O-line at Miss State helped running back Josh Robinson to over 1,100 yards and 11 TDs. Not only has Beckwith earned starting status as a former walk-on, but he is a jack of all trades in the trenches.
That speaks a lot about the type of player that Ben is. When he first got here, he was a center, moved to guard, moved around. And there have been times this year where he's played both right and left guard, played center, and he's still getting all these honors and still playing to the best of his ability and doing all these great things.
Beckwith and his Miss State Bulldogs are sitting at 10-2 heading into the bowl game. He is an all-SEC candidate at offensive guard, and he is also a Burlsworth Trophy finalist. Let's hear it for Ben Beckwith.
Okay, Ben, we got a running back and a receiver. The offensive linemen never get all the praise. What's it like being an offensive lineman?
It's a very cool deal, you know. You just go to work every day and just do your job. Nobody's really going to recognize if you do well or not, unless the quarterback gets hit. Then they'll recognize you then. But at the same time, you know, we just do our job, get guys yards, make them look good, and if they're doing good, we'll get a little recognition. So we'll enjoy it along the way, either way.
You didn't start off this big in life. You grew up in a small town in Mississippi. Did you dream early of playing college football?
Yeah, I always dreamed of playing some sport, you know, baseball or football, one of the two. And just coming up, I loved playing ball. Either way, anytime I could play ball or do anything with sports, I was doing it. So yeah, my dream was to always play college ball, and it just happened to work out, you know, in my favor.
All you guys were good high school players. What's it like when you're sitting there waiting for somebody to call you and say, we want you to play for us, and nobody does?
It's an uneasy feeling, you know. You know a bunch of guys when you're coming up through the recruiting process and you see them get offers here and there, and you're just kind of sitting back like, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, you know. And but I mean, at the same time, it's a fun deal. It's you get to go travel places, go to camps, and do things. But I enjoyed it a lot, even though there wasn't a lot going on for me at the time. It worked out, and I met a lot of people along the way that influenced me and got me to where I am. And you know, I just worked really hard, and you know, kind of as a walk-on, you can go wherever you want. And I went around the camps and stuff, and just loved Mississippi State, loved the coaching staff, loved Coach Evans, Coach Mullen, and what they were doing there, and that's where I wanted to go. So I just started off, and I'm here now, so it all worked out.
Yeah, the last 2 years have worked out pretty well for you. Having a bowl game last year, and Mississippi State for the first time ever ranked #1 in the country this year. What was that like on campus?
Oh, it was crazy. You know, the fans and everybody were, you know, just going nuts and having a good time with it. And at the same time, we had to handle it well as a group and just keep going. You know, even though you're #1, you still got to come back. You got to lift weights. You got to go to practice. You got to do things. You know, especially during the time we were #1, it was cold outside. You still didn't want to be at practice sometimes, but at the same time, you knew you still had opponents coming up that were very good and going to test you. And well, we enjoyed it. It was a fun deal, and hopefully they'll keep it going after I graduate and keep getting those #1 rankings and keep going to big bowl games.
Well, big bowl games. Mississippi State hadn't been to the biggest frequently. You all are playing in the Orange Bowl for the first time in 73 years. Is that something that you think is a pretty big deal?
Yeah, my parents aren't even alive then, so that's kind of cool, you know. I think my grandmother was probably going to prom or something around that time, so yeah, it's a cool deal, you know. My teammates, you know, Dak, everybody knows who Dak is. He's him and guys like Josh Robinson and, you know, guys like that have just got us to where we are. And, you know, it's been an awesome year. You know, we couldn't have done it without, you know, great coaching staff, great fans, great people influences around us. And, you know, I'm sure we're going to wrap Miami in maroon and white. That sounds kind of weird, but it's going to be a fun deal. And it's been a great year, you know, and being in Hall Country, I'm trying to, you know, make sure I don't offend anybody.
Well, I was just going to ask you, you can tell us the truth. You know where you are. Y'all were pretty lucky to win that game, weren't you?
Yeah, I'd say I'll leave it at that. We were really blessed to walk away with a victory there from a great Arkansas Razorback team.
We're blessed to have Ben Beckwith. Thank you, Ben.